The war had been long, brutal, and unlike anything humanity had ever faced. For 3 years, the coalition of Earth had fought against the Drekker Dominion, an alien empire known for their ruthless conquest and enslavement of weaker species. Entire human colonies had been burned to ash. Cities on Mars, Europa, and Titan still smoldered from orbital bombardments. But finally, after a campaign of relentless counterattacks, humanity and its allies had turned the tide. The Drekker homeworld had fallen. Their warlords were slain, their fleets broken. The war was over. Corporal Nathan Hale, a soldier of the 72nd Terran Infantry, was among the survivors who had fought in the final siege of Drakthor, the enemy's capital city. He had seen horrors beyond imagining, men reduced to ash by plasma cannons, comrades consumed by alien beasts unleashed on the battlefield. And yet somehow he had lived. When the coalition generals gathered their soldiers for the ceremony of victory, the air was thick with smoke and strange incense. Alien music hummed in the vast hall of the conquered palace. Drekker nobles, chained and broken, were paraded before the victors. And then the spoils were distributed. Nathan, standing stiff in his battle-scarred armor, was stunned when his name was called. "Corporal Nathan Hale," boomed General Stavros, a towering man with a voice that silenced the hall. "For bravery in the face of overwhelming odds, for holding the Eastern Wall when all others fell back, you are granted honor among your brothers. And as reward, one of the Drekker's slaves." The crowd erupted in cheers. Soldiers shouted his name, pounding fists on armor. Nathan felt his chest tighten. He hadn't fought for rewards. He fought because there had been no other choice. 2 guards dragged forward a figure in chains. She was tall, lithe, and unmistakably alien. Her skin shimmered faintly, a pale silver hue that caught the light. Her hair was white as snow, flowing down her back like silk. Her eyes, strange luminescent violet, burned with defiance even in her captivity. "This one," the general said. "A high-born thrall of the Drekker court. She now belongs to you." Nathan swallowed hard. He didn't want this. But refusing in front of the entire army would dishonor the ceremony. So he nodded stiffly, and the alien woman was handed over. She stood beside him silently, chains clinking with every movement. She did not bow. She did not look at him. She simply stared straight ahead, unbroken. Nathan's war wasn't over. It had only just changed. Back at the barracks-turned occupation quarters, Nathan released her from the public chains, but not entirely. Regulations demanded she remain marked as property of the victors. He sat heavily on his bunk, his rifle still slung across his back. She stood near the door, hands bound loosely with a restraint band. "What's your name?" Nathan asked, his voice low. For the first time she looked directly at him. Her eyes were sharp like blades of light. "I am not yours to name," she said in flawless English, her voice smooth yet filled with venom. Nathan exhaled. Of course she spoke the language. The Drekker had long studied humanity before their invasion. "I didn't ask to own you," he said. "But they gave you to me. If I could, I'd set you free." Her gaze lingered on him, suspicious. "Lies. Humans are conquerors, no different from the Drekker. You slaughter, you chain, you call it victory." Nathan leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "Maybe you're right. But I'm not chaining you. You'll stay here with me until I figure out what to do. I won't treat you like a prize." For a long time she said nothing. Then finally she spoke. "My name is Serenia." The days that followed were tense. Nathan spent his hours patrolling ruined districts, helping civilians, and maintaining order among restless soldiers who sought comfort in drink and violence. Each night, he returned to find Serenia quiet, distant yet observant. She never begged, never cowered. Instead, she asked questions. "Why do you fight?" she asked one evening, sitting cross-legged on the floor of his quarters. "Because if we didn't, we'd all be dead," Nathan said. "And yet you fought until victory. Why continue to serve when there is no more enemy?" Nathan frowned. "Because there will always be another war. Another order. Soldiers don't choose." Her lips curved slightly, almost mocking. "Then perhaps you are the true slave, human." The words cut deeper than he expected. Weeks passed, and the occupation turned ugly. Some soldiers mistreated their alien captives. Rumors spread of executions, forced labor worse. Nathan hated it but was powerless against the tide of cruelty. Serenia, however, was different. She began to assist him, offering insight into Drekker customs, advising which districts would resist rebellion, even teaching him how to read the alien runes carved into city walls. "You trust me?" she asked one night, her violet eyes piercing him. "I don't know," Nathan admitted. "But I want to." For the first time, her expression softened. But trust was dangerous. And Nathan soon discovered just how dangerous it could be. The turning point. One evening, returning from patrol, Nathan found his quarters empty. Serenia was gone. His chest tightened with dread. Had she escaped? Had someone taken her? He scoured the compound until he found her, cornered by 3 drunken soldiers in an alley. They laughed cruelly, shoving her, tugging at her arm. Nathan's fury ignited. He stormed forward, shoving the men away. "She's mine," he shouted. The soldiers froze. Ownership was the only language they respected. Muttering curses, they backed off, leaving him and Serenia alone. She trembled, her usual composure shattered. "You came for me," she whispered. Nathan met her gaze. "I told you, I'm not like them." From that night something changed between them. She began to trust him little by little. And Nathan began to realize that Serenia was more than a slave. She was intelligent, fierce, and brave in her own way. Then came the secret. One night, as they sat together in silence, Serenia finally spoke. "I was not merely a slave of the Drekker court," she confessed. "I was a consort to their High Lord. I know their secrets, their hidden fleets, their sleeper cells across the galaxy. If I speak, your war is not over. It is only beginning." Nathan's blood ran cold. "Why tell me this?" "Because I have seen you," she said softly. "You are different from the others. If there is hope for peace, it lies with men like you." Nathan realized then that Serenia was not his slave. She was a survivor, carrying knowledge that could change the course of humanity's future. But others would kill her for it. Ending. The next weeks were a blur of paranoia. Nathan smuggled Serenia away from the barracks, hiding her in abandoned buildings, feeding her from his rations. Together, they pored over stolen maps and intercepted transmissions. Serenia revealed coordinates of hidden Drekker strongholds, sleeper cells on distant moons, and secret weapon caches that could reignite the war. Nathan knew he had to report it. But if he handed Serenia over, she would be silenced, or worse, used as nothing more than a tool of war. One night, as the two of them stared at the stars through a shattered dome, Nathan made his choice. "I can't give you to them," he said. "But I can't keep this secret either. If I do, more people will die." Serenia's violet eyes shimmered in the starlight. "Then we run. Together."